Yo, I'm gonna be unboxing this brand new Elgato Promptor XL. So this thing is freaking massive. I think it's like a 12-inch screen, and I just picked this up. This thing costs about 600 bucks, and I'm trying to improve my whole live stream setup. If you don't know, I do AI live stream coding, and basically my setup is something like this. I have a whole professional like camera setup over there. I got this whole thing streaming as well, and this is usually kind of where I'm doing a lot of my work. And then, you know, kind of the background you can kind of see usually is kind of what the scene we have there. So big shout outs to Sterling. How's it going, man? Appreciate you popping on the stream. This is going to be a really fun one. It's going to just be kind of hanging out here on the islands. Currently in Hawaii right now, doing my live streaming thing. So this is going to be a fun one. Let's go ahead and start kind of getting this thing unboxed right now. So this thing is pretty massive. I'd say it's like, I don't know, like 15 pounds maybe. So this will be really fun. This thing got a lot of really good reviews. As soon as I saw it being released, I bought it instantly. And I was going to use it for my live stream of this past Saturday or yesterday. But whenever new technology is introduced, I don't want to mess it up or anything. You know, if I have a working system, that's kind of what I want to do, is just kind of start to like introduce more variables. So let me just go ahead and see if I can kind of show you a little bit more kind of what this looks like when you like opening the box and stuff. So as a first look, yo, what's going on, J35? We're gonna be unboxing this guy. This thing's freaking massive. It's like crazy massive. So yeah, this, as you can see, I'm sitting down and like, this is gonna be a lot of space and stuff. Yeah, man, I wanted one of those teleprompters too. Yeah, you just, yeah, this thing's gonna be massive. Let's see. This thing is so, I gotta get my reaction in my face. This, bruh, look at this thing, bro. This is the glass. Like, this is what I'm gonna be reading off of. Damn, okay. Compared to an iPad, which is over here, I'll show you right now. So this iPad is actually showing the live stream, so it's kind of meta that you're basically watching yourself. But this is compared to my normal iPad. So my iPad is currently what I use as a monitor. So this is, this thing is massive. So you can kind of see like right here in the corner, like you get this extra space. And like, how does this compare to like my laptop up here? That's what I'm really curious about. Because this is really interesting, because look at this. Dang. That's super massive. So this is low-key gonna be a game changer. I know it sounds like AI, because like game changer is really overused, but I use that word anyways. Holy smokes, this thing's massive, bro. Oh my God. Cancel. Yeah, this is like my monitor. This is what I use. Jesus, I'm gonna put this over here on the side. I'm a little too excited. These unboxing things are kind of hard. Yeah, that's massive. Yeah, I love the original, use it for every video. The original I found too small, and I found like this to be a bit better form factor because I'm further away with my setup. But it's a little bit different. This is kind of what I'm really curious about. So let me kind of get this fixed right here. So I open this guy. Golly. Ooh. Bro, this feels like I'm unboxing some Apple magic right now. Johnny, where are you? Oh, Sir Johnny Ive. Let's see. Okay. I don't want to break this because I have to repack it when I ship it back to California. I think I'm just going to slide this out this way. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Oh. From the window to the wall. Damn. To the sweat. Okay, I'm not going to go that far. Yeah, I'm going to leave this right here. Oh my God, this is crazy. I can't right now. This is absolutely massive. Massive, massive, massive. Super excited and super pumped for this thing. This is just part one so far, and we still got the goodies right here in the box. So this is going to be the fun part, I think, for me. It's going to be trying to figure out. This is, if you're trying to figure out what this is the Elgato Promptor XL. I'm in the box. I'm just kind of dying on this thing, you know. We're basically unboxing this. I paid 600 bucks for this prompter, and I feel like, I don't know, I want to unbox it with you guys. This is supposed to be up my game and stuff. You sound high-key girly. I don't know like what that sounds like. It just sounds like Ray Fernando. So if it sounds girly to you, I think you should probably kind of check yourself. Yeah, And let's see. Okay, so I take off this part, and this is what we have here. Bro. Okay. Oh, man, this is too much, bro. This whole system is kind of insane. If you can kind of think about this. Let me just kind of flip this around so y'all see this right now. I don't know if you see what I'm... Yeah, please excuse the excitement, but this is kind of what we're digging into the box with. So this prompting system was held together almost by like what they use to hold together these like wine boxes and stuff. If you ever like buy wine, usually comes in something like this. And then down below we have here is basically this whole system. So this system here has like this, probably like the pieces we're going to use for the prompting. And then this is, ooh, like a base. Oh my God. Whoa. Okay. So this is probably like the kits that we're going to use for the base plate. Dang. This is so gnarly. So the thing I'm trying to figure out here is how, I think I just pulled straight up. Oh, I see. Yeah, my bad. I got so excited. Oh, damn. Okay. This thing's massive. I'm gonna put you back over here. Oh my God, I can't right now. Okay, so we got this guy plus this guy, and then this is what. So like you guys in the camera, it's gonna like look through like this. You know what I mean? So, and that's what that's gonna look like. So yeah, over here we got these types of things to unbox. So we got this guy. We got all these little like base plates and rings and stuff. And then we got this kind of system here to, I think this is what's going to go inside there, and then some other type of glass thing like that. Yo, this thing is just absolutely ridiculous. So as far as size, I think this is going to be a great size, to be honest. It's actually a lot bigger than I was expecting, because this is what my normal size is. You can kind of see the live stream right now. And that's kind of why it looks funny, but like comparatively, bro, there's like, the size difference is massive. So yeah, this is, I don't know how I can do this. Okay, so I'm gonna try to take this apart here, but I know I gotta slide this off. Slide City. Who's rolling with me right now? All right, cool. What does it do? So the Elgato Prompter, the whole point of it is when I do my live streams, I overlay like the comments and stuff like that. So right now I'm having to do that on this screen, which is my laptop. And so that way, like I can look at you guys and like talk to you and look at the comments that are streaming in. And another thing is that this display, this is actually a display right here. This whole thing, I'm gonna show you real quick, is like a computer display. And so with the computer display, it's like having like a second screen. So if it's big enough, which I think it is, I could do coding with it. And so I could just code just straight looking at the camera, because right now I'm looking at a TV to code. But my setup at home, I was gonna get like another display, because my current iPad's kind of small, to be honest, to code on, and it's just easier to code with like, you know, bigger display, bigger screen and stuff. So yeah, there's all this down there. Yeah, I'm breaking all my stuff. So what I'm trying to pull out is the actual like screen thing. I look relaxed. Yeah, new tech is exciting for sure. Are you an English teacher? No, I'm an AI live streamer, bro. Can you wish me a happy birthday? Happy birthday, Daniel Pinkley. How old are you today? Let's see. Okay. Oh, wow. So yeah, so this is the display. And so this display, I'll show you what it looks like. Let's just go ahead and unbox it. This literally feels like Christmas. Okay, so first impression as far as like the smell test, it's basically 10 out of 10. I can't tell you if you don't smell your iPhones when they come out of the factory, because they smell crazy. This actually smells very clean. I don't know if it just got like, you know, whenever everything makes it to Hawaii, everything just becomes sunshine and rainbows. I think that's probably like low-key what happened here. So I'm gonna like unbox this really slowly so that I can preserve this little sticker thing, so I can keep this so I can ship it back, because I'm gonna ship it back to California, and I need to make sure, like, I'm not trying to destroy the box, because this is actually what I'm gonna use to. This is like the box itself is it's a suitcase. It's like basically a package. So hopefully United would let me put that back into it. If not, I'll just use UPS or something to ship it back. Dang. Okay, this feels like I'm unboxing like a fancy t-shirt. Bro, these guys do not play. Okay, so what Elgato did, they have, see the little, this is the cleaning pad. Oh, this is fire. So this display is like wider than my laptop. I'll show you real quick so you guys can see the display. So this display can be used as a second display. You can kind of see it's already wider than my like laptop and stuff. I'm gonna place it right here. And so this can already be used like side by side. I could just code with it like this. When I'm just outside, I could just plug it in. All it is connected to super light. It's just a one USB-C, and actually USB 3.2 is what it is. So what that does is basically you can just get power and everything all through the same spot. It even says right there, it says like requires 3.2 port or higher with a 15 watt power delivery. So you got to make sure you got a high power delivery for this guy, and then you can just start using this as a second display. So that's the advantage of one of these teleprompters, is basically you're buying a display. A lot of times when you're buying, like I have a teleprompter at home that holds my iPad. That doesn't, you know, or I already had an iPad, so that wasn't a big problem. But if I didn't have an iPad, I'd have to buy a display. And so this display is supposed to be pretty good. So, I mean, and it's also pretty light. Like this is amazingly light. Actually, I think the iPad's heavier because the iPad, oh yeah, this iPad's like 2 times heavier because, or 3 times heavier. It's much heavier than, because the iPad has a battery. See, this doesn't have a battery or anything. It's just plugged right in, but it's super light and it's very like durable. And I think this is the magnets system that will connect there. Also super impressed with the cloth material. This is super soft. Okay, I want to rub my face with it, but I don't want to put oils on it. Yeah, because it's supposed to kind of preserve the display. Okay, so you're gonna sit over here for a second. I'm gonna show you. Yeah, I'm gonna just put this over here. That way you guys can see this. I need to fold this back up. Yo, what's going on, man? So, oh, we got some other people saying happy birthday as well. Okay, I'm not too aware of its uses, but how does it compare to having something like extra monitors instead? So whenever you want to sometimes like look directly at the camera, so having a teleprompter overlay on it, especially with the comments, makes it easier to interact and read with. And if I'm doing some AI coding live, I want to have the code right there. So I'm just looking at you. Sometimes when you see me like looking and coding, it's because I'm looking over here at the display. So I'm typing, and usually what I do is I punch it into like some type of thing like this. And that's usually what you're seeing. You're seeing me actually kind of look off to the screen, and that's kind of what gives the illusion of like I'm looking at the screen with you. So it's kind of a cool and engaging technique. But I'm curious to try these things. Teleprompters for me are really interesting type of thing. Another thing I could do is like, I'm pretty bad about having like an agenda. So what I want to do going forward is like make this into an official like TV shows are really good. Like all these late night show formats, they have a format. They hit everything. They have like times. They have like little tickers that kind of say, okay, you have 5 more minutes, 2 more minutes, like on various subjects. And if you've ever watched my live streams, they can drag on very long. And I'm trying to tighten them up to be very like action oriented, but also engaging so that we can kind of hang out and stuff. So are you starting a family with your sister? What kind of question is that? That's Instaban, bro. Yeah, cool. Yes, I'm not too aware of its uses, but how does it compare? Okay, having extra monitors, cool. Can you wish me a happy birthday? So everyone in the chat right now, if you're hanging out, go ahead and wish Daniel Pinkley a happy birthday. It's so cool that we're kind of wishing him a happy birthday as well. So yeah. All right, cool. So the next thing we're going to take a look at here is going to be, okay, so we have that. So then we have this little Prompter XL guidebook type of thing. And then this goes behind this big prompter system. So this is what's going to disguise the camera. And then I think this thing goes with this. This is the little camera hole that's going to hold it up. All right, so the next thing is this guy. So this is the big monstrosity that is going to like, and I'll show you real quick. So I'll take this apart, and we have this here. So then we have this system, and I think I just have to unwrap it like so. Okay. Dang, they make it so you only put it in one time. Wow. Okay. So here is the magic. This type of system connects with this monitor. I think it's all by magnets. So is it this way? Yo, this is crazy. Damn. Bro. Oh my goodness. I don't want to crack the display, but it is so good in there. That's a magnet. And this is the display? Yo. And like the way it snaps in, like, yo, this is crazy. Okay. So what happens is now we have the glass. Let me see if I can do the glass thing. So we're gonna have the glass up in here. Oh my goodness. Yo, this is crazy. All right, let's get this popping right now. Okay, so this glass thing, I think is supposed to go like this. I think this is all magnets, huh? I'm not even looking at it, by the way. This is my first time doing this. Okay. Yo, okay, I'm messing around too much. Let me just kind of focus real quick. Is it that easy to put on, really? Hold on. Okay. Oh, it just snaps right in. Like that. Okay. Okay, so I think it just snaps right in at the very top. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so this is what we do. So now the camera is going to look directly in there. So, like, I'll show you what this looks like when I do it like this. Yo, okay. So where I messed up was I was holding this display and instead of holding this part, and that's where it fell apart, but we didn't break anything. So we're good. Okay. So y'all can't trust me right now. I'm messing around too much. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So now that the prompter's in there, when I adjust it, like this camera is not really made for this. If I were to use this camera, I have to tilt the angle down. But as you see it go in, like you don't really see the bottom display and you kind of zoom it in. So now like what happens is you can see that the stuff down here gets reflected back. And that's kind of what you see there. So this is like the prompter and this thing's massive. So all I have to do is now secure it to my like big camera up there. And then that's what we're gonna go ahead and like see and stuff like that. So watching you take the paper. Yes, because I have to ship it like to California. So like this prompter is going to be here. I'm going to be here till like the end of the month. And then like, you know, this thing's low key fragile. Like if I throw this in a suitcase, y'all seen the airports, right? They just throw those things out the window and stuff. And so I'm not really trying to get this broken because this is $600, bro. This is great. Is it worth the $600? That's an easy yes, because for a couple of reasons. One is like the display alone is probably fairly pricey, but the whole system here is kind of really what it is. Like the build system is built really good. You know, like this is super solid, but then you have the polishing cloths. You have a lot of extra stuff, like these little things here. And then like this little base is kind of what goes in. So this is going to be like the cable. So this cable that connects into this guy, that's all you need. I don't think it needs power, right? Like we don't need like a power thing, you know, like a lot of these types of systems sometimes require like lots of power. So what's surprising is like how big the display is right here. Like this is the actual display right here. Like this is the display. So if I'm not using that, I can literally just plug it into my laptop, maybe even pull up to a cafe, and this turns into my whole secondary display. So that's kind of cool. And so that's kind of the system there. And you can kind of see with this guy down below, it's literally just a magnet system. So with a magnet, it just goes right in. It just can't like, do not pick it up from here. You have to pick it up from this base. This is what I did last time and it totally messed it up. But even then it's kind of hard to take out. But you can kind of see. Yeah, it just kind of snaps. It's just gorgeous. So gorgeous. So yeah, it's a lot. Wow, nice. And so what else is going on? Yeah. This thing looks cool for sure. I think if you do a lot of like live, if you're getting into live stream, so a lot of people ask me about my setup, so I'll kind of quickly break it down for y'all so y'all see what's up. So what I got going on here is basically I got my knob one keyboard. You don't need that. The one you probably want is this thing called the let me just get this comment out of the way so we can chill. So the one you probably want is this guy, the Rodecaster. This is my sauce. It's because it has this preamp. It's called the Revolution preamp. So that preamp is like the sauce that you usually hear when I speak on that microphone, which is, and then so the microphone I have there is the Shure SM7B. Yeah, Shure SM7B. It's probably the most prolific microphone. Every single podcaster in the world who is really big and every single radio personality who's got that like radio voice has that microphone for a reason. I'm an audiophile and I love good audio, and it's just the best. Spend all your money, do whatever you have to do, acquire that microphone, and you're going to be a star. Guarantee it. Like, I guarantee it. With this preamp. You have to get the preamp though. And then you got I got my Sony camera. So that camera, we're going to figure out how to hook it up to this guy, and this will be an interesting story there. And then right now I have that display. So that's where I do all my coding right now. So I basically sit here with you, we vibe out right here in this, like, you know, scene. And also I've been trying this thing called Trip Mindful Blend. It's got like botanicals and stuff. Obviously it's got the whole Hawaii thing. Nature's Mindful Blend, like, has lion's mane. Okay. It's got magnesium. It's got L-theanine. It's got ashwagandha. I don't smoke ashwagandha, but I drink it. Carbonated water, fruit juices, lemon, sour cherry. Okay. Yeah, we're chilling here. 25 calories. So this is called Trip. Where are they from? Let's see. They don't even have the name of where they actually... I would assume it's Hawaii because they got the whole Trip thing on here, you know? Oh, that's pretty good. I'm a sucker for strawberry. All right. Let's see what else has got going on. What are you guys doing this Sunday? Are you coding right now? Are you vibe coding? I know I was. Actually, right now I really want to vibe code, but I have to open this and use this because I have some streams coming up. By the way, I have a really Cursor. I think should be releasing their new 2.0 stuff soon / released already. Some people are getting beta access to it. Do you have beta access yet? Do you have early access? Let me know. Have you been using it a lot? Right now, despite plan mode being really good in Cursor, I keep going back to Droid. It's just too good. It's too good for spec mode, like, and coding and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really falling in love. I like Cursor's plan mode, but when I use the Sonnet models, the plan isn't as comprehensive, and I guess the implementation's good, but I like the way and how thorough the Droid thing is at generating the nice spec file and then following through. So once I get this set up, I'm going to show you probably tonight or tomorrow morning how I code with Droid so that you can kind of see how I do the prompting. The other thing that I use is this thing called a data model. If you haven't seen that video, go check out that video. And basically I go over how to generate this thing called the data model and like these little entity relationships and these diagrams in your code. It's just 2 prompts. The first prompt is super tiny. It's like a couple sentences. It runs through your whole code. Doesn't matter what coding agent you're using, Claude Code, Codex, Cursor Agent, Droid, run it through. Generate that file. It'll generate a data model MD file. Put that in, start generating features using it in your plan mode and your spec mode. Thank you very much. It's going to just be ridiculous. So I definitely highly recommend that approach there. If you're going to be building, make sure you generate that data model. Before you generate any data model, I encourage you to ask questions. Like, take a look at that thing and actually truly understand. What I like about that prompt is that it extracts out a lot of the code and makes it more visual so that you can understand, you know, where are your inputs? Where's your data flowing? Is it going from the database and how is it going to the front end? You know, when you're creating new users, like what things are attributed to those users? If you have a feature like generating images, then where are those images stored? What's the relationship between like a new image that gets generated from a user, and the new feature that you add that has a flag, you know, is it, you know, appended to the actual, its own entity in, you know, if you're doing those types of things, you want to like take that diagram, you can throw it into ChatGPT, you can throw it into Claude, you can throw it into any of your favorite AI and just start asking questions on it. The reason why you want to ask those questions is because all of that information that comes out of those questioning are those keywords you're going to use to describe your features in the future. And so those keywords are the anchors that will start going through your code base and through that data model file to make your AI agent that much more accurate. I can't tell you how important that is. And I made the video as small as possible. It's only 5 minutes. And it's probably the most action-packed video that I've ever made so far. And I made sure I spent a lot of time editing to make sure my head was out of the way, that you can zoom in and see the different plugins and stuff like that. Highly encourage you to watch that video. I can't tell you enough as far as like how it's going to improve your AI coding for sure. So check that out. Are you using it? Have you tried it yet? Just curious your thoughts and your take here. So I think this is just like a, what is this thing? I feel like it's Christmas. Christmas all over again. Oh, man, damn. Okay, they pack these things really well, which makes it really good for travel. So this is the thing that this guy is going to sit on. And no, it's going to be the thing where my camera sits on in the back. So the way it's going to work, I'm going to take off the display so I don't break my display. This guy is going to go like here. And then I'm going to adjust my camera. So my camera is going to sit on here and it's going to look on in. And that's how we're going to be up in here. Yeah. So, okay. Oh, wow. So the way that they packaged it is like they have all these like nice little cables and stuff. Okay. They have like a genuine spare part. I haven't heard anyone giving me spare parts in days. Oh, all of these. Ooh. Man, yo, Elgato came through though. Okay, so I paid my own money. They didn't come through. I came through and Elgato delivered, I guess you could say. But yeah, setup rings, all that goodness. Okay, I love the packaging. Packaging is pretty nice. Yeah, have to take somebody a lot of effort by hand to configure this type of packaging because I can't even put it back together sometimes. Okay, and then this is the USB cable. So I want to open the USB cable and see how good the cable. Look at the braiding on this. Okay, so the USB cable gets a 10 out of 10 for the braiding alone. This is gorgeous. So I'm gonna undo some of this so you can see how good this is. So in order for USB cables to come off the factory line, they have to, like, USB has a standard for meeting like noise, power, and all these different things. And you can imagine how much variance there is between like a cable you buy on Amazon and like a cable like this that's going to carry 15 watts of power and deliver data across it so you can go to your computer. If you have a bad cable, that's going to just make the biggest difference in terms of like the machine you plug it into, whether you're drawing too much power, all this other craziness. So USB 3.2 cable is the most important thing for this type of display because it's the only thing that you can plug it into. And you can already see it's 3.5 gigabytes per second. So that's the type of thing you have to have there. I don't know if this is going to show it at all. Let's see if I can get rid of my face, my eyes. Let's see. Yeah, I think it kind of got it. It sort of shows it. Okay. And then the braiding of the cable is just really interesting here. So yeah, this is really good stuff. And then I think for the USB, yeah, this is solid. Dude, Elgato, damn, their quality control is really, really good. I'm super impressed by them. Well, okay. And then I also have the stand that's Elgato for my thing. So yeah, I basically bought this stuff with my own money because I wanted to try it out and kind of show you guys what's going on. Hey, I have a funny story about this chair right here. So this chair, in the neighborhood that I'm in, this will tell you like the level of people that are around here. In Hawaii, like it rains every night. Typically in the like winter time, like right around where we're gonna get into. And so I went out for a walk at night before it started to rain, and I just saw this chair just sitting there outside. And when people put the chairs and stuff outside, it just means that they're giving it away. You can kind of tell why, because it's a little bit worn and they must have got like a new one, but a full-on Arion chair, free, you know, because it was just basically right for the garbage collection. It was garbage day. So people just put out their garbage, and then people sometimes walk around and pick up stuff. And there's some really high quality stuff around here. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it was free. It's Yo, Russ, are you in Hawaii right now? Wait, where? What part of what island are you in? Hit me up, bro. Let's hang. I'm very excited about the Gemini 3. Okay, Logan tweeted by the end of 2025, everyone will be able to create their own game. What do you think? I believe him. I want to find out more of the specifics of what that means, because the Grok models were already producing games, like the Grok 3 one. I know a lot of people were vibe coding games and stuff, and that was the first time people were actually making full-on games. And then I think it inspired a lot of people to have these hackathons where they generated all this crazy stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if something like this can run. What I think will happen is that, so Google has a lot of TPUs, they have a lot of resources, and they have a lot of stuff that's pretty well tuned. It sounds like the gaming thing is something that they can repeatedly rely on to be built all the time. Like, I must have a lot of training data on games. So I'm not surprised that like this claim that they're making is kind of what they're forcing everyone to kind of go down, as far as like a path that they want you to start, you know, making stuff with. To me, it's really exciting to make games. And I guess you could say I'm an ex-gamer, but I had to like stop playing games because I was extremely addicted, that it took over my whole life. And now AI coding is taking over my whole life, but at least that can make me money, right? At that time when I was playing games, you couldn't really make money from it. I probably could make money from it now, but I think I've moved on beyond that because I've, you know, worked as an engineer at Apple and so forth. And that's kind of how I got into engineering. Because it was like, got to change my life, got to change a whole different directory, you know, got to go, you know, since I already play around with tech and doing stuff, I should probably get into this space. So then what I want to do, I was telling my friend Gosu Coder for the gaming part, is I want to like vibe code my own 8-bit games, but use Suno to make like the soundtracks and different sound pieces of it. And I also want to learn how to like make sprites officially and like, I don't know, kind of settle in on a language. I had made a game for the Apple Watch a long time ago, but like that was like Series 0, and I didn't even really know what I was doing, but I really feel like it's a whole different discipline to make a game. And I want to, if the model's really good at making games, I want to have it teach me about how I should structure my data. Like how should I make assets for it? How should I think about interactivity? How do I think about scaling? How do I think about multiple players? You know, I just want to rebuild some classic games. Like for me, I loved NES, and I couldn't really afford a lot of the stuff until like much later on in life. Like either friends would give them to me or something like that, or I would go always to my friend's house and play all their games. And so, yeah, like, I don't know, like I want to try to see if I can kind of reproduce some really good classic games. I think it'd be kind of fun, especially with the music and stuff. Putting AI in Hawaii, what's going on, man? Oh, yeah, like HAWAI. That's such a good point. Yeah, back in the day, I was really into Source SDK. That's awesome. Actually, I am bro of someone you recently met at the hackathon. Yo, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's right. I met a lot of cool folks at the hackathon. So glad to see you, man. Let's hang. Are you in Waipahu right now, I think, as one of the folks, maybe? He told me this really nice guy who thought I should check it out. Yo, man. I'm in electrical engineering and SWE, and I might be interested in your content. Bro, yeah, go check it out. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a live stream on coding with Droid. I'm making this app right now. I'll show you real quick on this screen. I'll probably turn off this camera right now because you can't really see. Actually, let me change this camera. I'll change it to camera A so you can still see me right here. So right here, it's called Anime Leak. And let me see if I can get my cursor over here. So if you go to animeleak.com, I'm making lots of different apps, but like one of them here is that basically you can just upload your photo and then it'll like turn something into, you know, like little leaking of art. So I'm telling you guys my game plan right now because you guys are tuned in. So my goal with this app is to focus on the foodies. So I want to capture this market. It's kind of an interesting thing. I was having this conversation with Claude Opus. Claude Opus is really good. And it gave me an idea that like somebody's going to spend like $2,000 on a French Laundry dinner. And if they take a photo, like a lot of people take food pics apparently, and they post them all the time. But if you have something like this with Anime Leak, where it takes one of the unique elements or something interesting about the food and kind of draws something on top of it, it can be really fun looking. So like my friends here who, like when I have food, oops, like here or like in this thing, it does like something funny. So you can just say like, yeah, I spent like $2,000 on my dinner and here's my dinner. Like, you know, it's just some like cartoon drawing type of thing. I thought it'd be kind of funny, but interesting, but I'd try it out. But what I wanted to do that would kind of make it really interesting is like, it'd just be stupid cheap. So it'd almost be like a penny or 2 cents to make these types of things. And I will be basically taking a huge hit on this, but I want people to really start using it and giving me feedback. So like not only will I do food, but it'll just be other types of things. But the more important thing is trying to get people in. So right now my basic prototype works, but I'm rewriting it. And tomorrow, I'm basically rewriting the image optimizer to use the Vercel AI SDK. So Vercel AI, Vercel Blob. So let's see, Vercel Blob storage. So check this out. So I did a lot of research and I found out this is probably the most cheapest way to actually store the images that get generated from it. But it's super fast to get set up. It has caching. And then if I use their image optimization, like it saves me so much work, because initially I had it all set up through Convex. And then I was gonna try to figure out like where to store the images. So it was just like this whole thing around that. But yeah, yeah, I got a lot of other stuff I'm building too. So that's kind of what's up. Yeah, if you're kind of interested. But yeah, stick around. I think we're gonna have some cool conversations. Also, if you haven't had a chance to, Graphite sponsored my live streaming yesterday. And I have a code so that you can get basically 2 months for free. The team account right now, they have a, let me show you real quick. So if you go to Graphite, what they do, I'll show you graphite.dev. I use it for a lot right now for AI code reviews. And I'm learning this new thing called stacked diffs. But for the code reviews, what I find super useful is like, here's the transition AI SDK. So it is like phenomenal, like finding really good bugs. Let me see if I can kind of show you this. So they have an AI reviews section that will basically go through your different commits and stuff like that. So 15 PRs reviewed. You can go to feed. Let me kind of close this here. Okay. So the categories of bugs that it finds are really, really good. So they're like edge cases, code quality, performance issues, and so forth, or like logic bugs. And so these are actually really, really good bugs. And I talked to the founder about it, and they have like a whole pipeline of how they categorize the bugs and what's really important. And also like what I also find like the potential edge cases is pretty cool. So I always try to look for some of these edge cases as well, or any like security bugs. And I find that this calls them out way more often than like Cursor's BugBot. So Cursor BugBot, you pay $40 a month. And with Cursor BugBot, like once you have the bug that's already found, you can click it to get it back into Cursor and do that type of thing. But if you want to fix it on the web as a background agent, you have to pay per the token use to fix the bug. So what's nice about like the Graphite thing is that's already included. They use Claude Sonnet for the models. So that's one thing. All your bugs and all your background agents and anything you want to run, basically you just run it through Graphite. And it's going to use the Sonnet model. The other thing too is like you can have a whole like AI chat conversation, which is pretty cool. So beyond the AI reviews, like you can go into your repo and start having conversations with it. But I'm going to do some more streaming with this because it's, to me, like this is such a huge platform in terms of like what it offers, and like the value is just kind of insane. So yeah, this is like a multi-day thing. So you're going to see me kind of use that. We're going to go through like this app and kind of do some updates to it because I'm still kind of cooking. I'll show you real quick what the Droid is doing right now. So let's see if I can kind of go here. Okay, cool. So this is my current plan. I'm rewriting the Vercel thing. I should just kick this off right now while we wait. So this is my problem with coding. It's like I'm always running something, you know, and I'm always checking back in on it. So here we are. This is my review, and I broke it up into phases. So we're basically going to migrate everything to the Vercel Blob. And is everything checked back in? Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna run it right now. I got it. So the documents, I'm gonna go ahead and say proceed with implementation and just YOLO. YOLO. Okay, so now we're running Droid. So Droid is gonna start cooking for us, and it's gonna implement this massive plant. So it's gonna rewrite my code so that I can implement the Vercel Blob storage instead of whatever it has right now. And so this is the whole plan. This is the whole rewrite. And what I also asked it in the conversations to help me with some of the edge cases. So it generated some like test cases for me. So that way I can understand like different flows, like when a user deletes an image, when a user like, what's happening in my code. And so it gives a break. This is why I like the spec mode in Droid so much, because this is all a conversation in spec mode. It did this really detailed plan for me for approval. So like I even gave it some more information as far as what it needed to do. So like this is how it broke down my whole plan. Like in the whole thing, like current architecture for convex storage, and then what we're doing for the new architecture, like it did a full-on breakdown. And this is using the Sonnet 4.5 model. And then here's the data model changes as well. And then here's like the before and after. So these examples are super important. And so here's the different phases it's going to implement for doing this: phase 1, phase 2. I mean, like after doing all this, it is like insane. So right now I'm basically letting it cook, and you're going to see, we're going to basically be done by the time we're done here. So let's see, did it finish? Excellent. Documentation now committed and tracked. Okay, so now we have the 2 documentations that are made. What I do is basically I create a migration spec, and I make a progress document. So this tells the AI language model, like if I need to come back later on, or I need to start a new session, this is where it can actually pick itself up. And then over here is kind of where it says always delete both images, and like here's the key highlights. So, okay, so would you like me to proceed with phase 1? Yes. Yeah. Setting up environment available instructions. Yes. Yes. Please proceed with phase 1. And then let me just make sure I have the right model set up. Yeah, high. Okay, cool. So Sonnet high is going to be the model here, and we're just going to let it go. So for those who don't know, with Droid, if you use the Sonnet 4.5 model, it scored the highest on Terminal Bench. Something that the Droid team is doing, or the factory AI team is doing, is that they're basically, their agent is so good at maintaining context over a long period of time that you don't really have to always create new chats. It basically is doing all those optimizations in the background, and is extremely good at following an entire plan like this, which is kind of insane if you can kind of think about it. So yeah, there's a whole thing here that's going. It says storage ID deprecated might be migrating to blob, and now it's giving it the new blob thing. So this is just in case it's there. And so yeah, now it's going to start to run the migrations for the new functions, and it's doing all the right things for Convex to start them up and everything like that. So this is going to be doing its thing there. So yeah, I got the 40 million free credits from your link. I'm cooked after using it. I need to pay 200. Yeah. I think, so there's a couple of things here is like, to me, if you're going to pay 200 bucks, like if you've gone through the 40 million in a day, you kind of want to think about how much stuff you're shipping, and whether you have, where you're spending a lot of tokens. I do find that the Droid is super optimal for token usage, because it costs me usually like less than a million tokens to ship like one big feature. So this feature I expect to cost me probably like 2.5 million to 3 million tokens, maybe. But I don't actually think it's going to be that heavy of a usage, because the plan is pretty tight. I've had a lot of conversations back and forth, but there wasn't a lot of tokens used. It was probably maybe 100,000. But the implementation, you can see in those phases, we just finished phase 1. So actually, I wouldn't be surprised if this whole thing comes out to like 1.5 million tokens. Let's see. Okay, once you've configured blob token, let me know and I'll proceed with phase 2. Okay, so I'm just going to put this as a placeholder in my Vercel thing. So I have a whole Vercel thing, dashboard. And this is my Vercel projects. So we get to see all the sauce. Yeah, so I don't think this plan is going to cost me very much. So what I'm doing right now in Vercel is I have a project called Anime Leak. And so in here, what I'm going to do is just set up the environment variable. So in environment variables, I'm just going to add the Gemini, the blob rewrite token, so the placeholder. And then this will just be there for now. So that way, just I put in the variable. Okay, I've put in the variable. Okay. Okay, so once we've configured, let me know and I'll proceed with phase 2. Proceed with phase 2. And it's going to migrate upload flow to Vercel Blob updating this and testing the new end-to-end update flow. The blob URL is a placeholder, and we'll assume it works for now, as it works already in another app. Okay, so, or if you prefer continue phase 2, assuming you'll add the token soon. Okay, I think it's already kind of telling me that, yeah. Answer any questions. So what I like about this like phase deployment type of thing is basically we're just kind of stopping off. Let me see if I can make this bigger so y'all can see this, because I just realized it's probably really hard to read. So you can read the plan. Okay. All right, so, oh, I think this is the link for Droid still available for the free trial? Yeah. Let me just type that in the chat right now. https://rfer.me/ray-factory, I think, yeah. So the factory one is still here. So you can still sign up to the factory stuff just by clicking that link down below. And that'll basically get you into the, like the 40 million tokens, just sign up. So if you're a new account, you can actually redeem it using that type of thing. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm so glad to hook you up. Also, if you want to check out the Graphite thing, so https rfer.me/graphite. So the Graphite thing is the one I'm telling you about, and you're going to probably start seeing more videos on this, or because this is a massive platform for AI code reviews. But beyond that, the stacked diffs thing, which I'm trying to implement, because this is going to allow me to basically run my agents in parallel and ship all these different features. And stacked diffs are nice because it will break apart all these phases into like each its own diffs, which makes it easier to review. So I can review each section of the chunk. Each section of the code, and then when it's finally done, just kind of merge them all together instead of merging in this like massive diff, which is usually kind of hard to review in general. So that's kind of what that is. But if you use the code stack with Ray, so this code is what's going to get you that 2 months for free. So you can basically have an AI, you can use their AI chatbot on their thing and just, you know, do code reviews, fix your apps and all this stuff just within their Graphite thing, which is actually super awesome. So that's different from using Cursor's BugBot, because BugBot, you have to pay per background agent that runs. And whatever model you select in that background, that's basically what you're paying for in Cursor. Where here, basically you get 2 months for free. So that's $40 worth per each month. And you could use as much as you want. Okay, so this is, yeah, that's an annoying bug from Droid. So what did they do here? Okay, so what it says, end of file. Oh, I think I was trying to write. Okay, now let's create an action that handles Vercel Blob upload. I'll add it to the end of, okay, perfect. Nice. Okay, so now it's just writing the files and now it's actually building. Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to ship this feature by the time I'm done with my live stream, which I actually don't mind right now. So I'm going to let it do its thing. We're just so we know, we basically started off unboxing like this whole thing here. And like in natural fashion, I basically got distracted. But I think this thing is basically unboxed, which is my first goal today. And what do we have so far? We have this display. This is going to go back down here. And so this thing together is kind of what we got there. I paid $600 for it. I think it's going to be worth it. I want to give a big shout out to all the people who are my members on my YouTube channel. With everyone coming together, this has allowed me to actually, afford some of this cool stuff. And also big shout outs to like the channel sponsors. So far we've had Factory AI actually sponsor this channel almost a month ago. That was a huge hit, and I think everyone really enjoyed using the droids. And they're still letting me give you guys that 40 million tokens if you haven't signed up, which is awesome. So if you haven't had a chance, check out that link. I don't benefit financially from it, so whenever you sign up for it, it's basically to my community, and that's kind of what I negotiate as part of these types of deals. Whenever I want to take on a sponsor, I just want to make sure that they're aligned with me and you guys, and that not only did they align with me and sponsor the channel, but that they also provide something for you, because I always hate it when people say, okay, this is a sponsor or something, but then there's like nothing in it for me. So I always try to get something back to you guys, and it's really just a thank you for helping support the channel and kind of being there from day one. I think I want to set a new standard for this type of stuff, for sponsorships, like these types of relationships where these companies should give back more to everyday people. If not, that's what I want to vouch for that type of thing. And the second sponsor that has sponsored this live stream, which was yesterday, and that was Graphite. So Graphite, they do, you know, code reviews, but they're stacked diffs, and they're super amazing at, you know, this whole platform for reviewing code, but also like making sure, you know, your AI code that's going to be checked in is going to be, you know, all like easy to kind of maintain. And these are like really complex systems to build, like as far as internal tools. So this whole team is dedicated to making your internal tooling for your code stuff really, really good. I would say it's mostly focused on like teams and enterprise people. Like, so Shopify, like some of the biggest companies all over Silicon Valley use them. Finance companies as well, and all these, they have a whole list of people that are public and non-public that use that type of stuff. So that's kind of that there. So let's go back and see what's going on here. So over here, what's happening? Whoops, did I just mess it up? Uh-oh. Should I just say continue? Okay, so what's next? Phase 3. So far we have phase 1, phase 2, we have the upload flow. Technically, it thinks we've spent 1 hour. And so now we have to do update save image to accept blob URL, and then upload the Gemini output to the Vercel Blob, and then a clean up temporary handling. Okay, cool. So continue with phase 3, recommended on a roll. Okay, let's continue phase 3. Let's continue with phase 3. Okay, so this is really good. Take a break and resume later. No. I want to ship this feature. Okay, so basically, I think that's kind of where we're at right now. Getting a little distracted, but yeah. So what are you guys coding with right now? Do you feel like, has Cursor come back into the fold? Are you still a Claude Code fan? Are you, like, what are you doing right now? What type of stuff are you shipping? Basically, I'm shipping a feature live, just on the couch talking to you, and we just kind of unboxed and kind of hanging out this Sunday. So this is gonna be really fun to figure out. So I need to figure out, if I plug this into my laptop, I don't think it's gonna give it enough power, right? It should. Do I wanna do that right now? I think I could do that over here. I'm gonna unplug this guy. Hopefully it doesn't mess up anything. Okay. Are we good? I think we're still good. Yeah, I don't think I broke anything. Okay, cool. I still use Claude Code, but I wanna try Droid. Yeah, try Droid. I think if you do Shift Tab, that'll get it into the spec mode. So you may have to do Shift Tab twice, you'll see spec mode, and that's where you have that conversation. And yeah, if you have a chance to check out my YouTube video on the data model, go ahead and create one for that, and then insert the data model file when you want to create a feature and tell it what feature you want to create. In spec mode, you're going to just be blown away at the results with Droid, because that's how I'm able to get this type of implementation. And a lot of times it's really good too to tell your, but in spec mode, to tell it to break it up into phases anyways, saying I want to implement the feature in these different phases, so that way you can test it out. So ideally I'd be testing it out, but YOLO, man. To be honest, I think a lot of, like, I can show you exactly all the code that's changed right now. Let's go and take a look here. So in here, we've only had a couple files change. So there hasn't been a lot of code that's changed, which is why I think this is going to be really low number of tokens that are used. So it's just been like these types of things. So it just adds a Vercel blob. It's just adding some stuff to the functions. There's nothing super complicated right now, but it's very thorough. You know, I just wanted to make sure I was extremely thorough. Here's the generate function. So the generate function is now going to upload to Vercel blob. So it puts in a put request, right? And it's going to tell it to use the blob rewrite token per the API spec. And then now it's going to run this little function that's going to be put that into the storage. And then how is it going to put it in? /generated /original image ID dot extension. I want to see if I can tie this to a user so that I know, how would I know what it's, oh, I know why. Okay, so this puts it in image ID, original image ID. How is this generated? ID images. So it comes from images that get uploaded from, so this is a unique ID that, okay, comes from convex. Okay, so that way it's not going to clash. Okay, dot extension. So this is how it's going to be saved in my Vercel, in my AI, my storage. And then what's it going to say? Gives it public access, add random stuff, use original MID for traceability. Okay. And then storage token. Okay, cool. And then the fallback, use convex storage for backward compatibility temporary. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, it's already checked in the changes. Dang. Wow. Okay, so we have the schema dependencies. We have the upload flow. We have the generation flow now. Phase 4 is the deletion flow. So when a user requests a deleted image, I want to make sure that that's taken care of and handle all the original generated blob dumps. So, okay, this is going to be really cool. Say this looks good. continue. Let's continue. Phase 4. Okay, cool. Man, this is gonna be fire. All right, so what I want to do is try to see if I can plug in this display right now while we're going on stream. So it's kind of funny. We're killing like lots of birds with one stone. Okay, this is really fun. Okay, so while that's vibe coding, I used all 40 million credits. Hold on, let me read this. This is gonna be crazy. What did you say here? I used all 40 million credits from the droids. Do I need to purchase a $200 a month plan after Ray Fernando? If you like it that much, you know, for sure. To me, it's worth it. But I have everything though. I have Cursor, I have this, I have Cloud Code, I have Codex, I have all of them. So in essence, I split it all out everywhere because someone's gonna hit a limit and then I just flip it over. But a lot of times too, I'm kind of doing some evaluation live. So a lot of stuff I'm really doing is also for research purposes too. Oh, we have a screen. Oh, family. We have a screen. Okay, allow. Oh, this is really cool. So, if I turn this thing on, what happens? Can I turn this thing on? I think we have a screen. Let's see. So theoretically, I should have a second display, right? Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna stay on or not. Let's see. Okay, can I add a display? Yeah, it doesn't see it yet. All right, so what's going on with my thing over here? So we added the internal action for the blob storage. So credit refunded. So this is if something happens or somebody wants to get deleted. Phase 4 credit refund logic, okay. This is pretty straightforward. And then what do we have here? Phase 4 internal action to clean up Vercel Blob URLs. Yes, I like this. Okay. Output truncated press control. Okay. Preparing the convex functions failed. Okay, so there's probably some type issues here and it's going to go ahead and fix them. That's probably what's going on. Okay, so let me just fix this thing here. Yeah, that's what it's doing. There's some type issues there. So it's fixing those because it made an assumption about the original image.userid. Okay. So I use convex because, oh yeah. Oh wait. So I don't know if my machine has enough power for this thing. I think that's the problem. 3.2. It should though, because it does Thunderbolt. Yeah, should I just turn it on? Hold it? Turn it off? Let me turn it back on. Okay. I wonder, I don't know exactly what I need to do to get my display working for this thing, but I'm gonna figure it out probably soon. Let's see, because I don't see a way to connect it to an external display. Because the display is not showing up. That's strange. Okay. That's weird. So, yeah, I wonder if I need like a lightning cable. Let me just try a lightning cable. It should work. I don't know why it's not working. I had this issue with my, I wonder if it's just my machine though. We'll see. Yeah. All right. I hope your prompter is better than the prompters when it stopped working for the POTUS. I think so. This is like the latest high-end stuff. I haven't really followed, you know, I stopped watching politics because I just can't. I'd rather focus my energy right now because I have such limited brain focusing abilities, and it's like I'd rather do it something where I'm actually building live, you know, building something live and actually building something useful. And so usually my friends are really good at telling me what's been going on in the news or whatever. Okay. Oh, okay. So it keeps dying. Dude. Okay, so it's powered on. There's got to be something to this that I'm just missing here. I don't understand. I wonder if it's just like an Apple thing too. So like there could be something like that. Because I noticed I had some issues before. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Do you use MCP server with Droid? Yes, I do. The MCP server I use is Exa MCP, which I technically don't need to use anymore because I just found out that Exa is used for search inside of Droid. So that saves you money. The other one is called ref.tools. So if you haven't checked out ref.tools, this is one I highly recommend. Let's see, ref.tools. So ref.tools is what they call like context for the agent. The reason why I like this so much is the most token efficient for documentation. So the way I think about it is when I use it to request like Vercel docs or anything that I'm messing around with, like a new Tailwind version, Next.js 16 that just dropped, if you give like Firecrawl or give it an MCP that's going to go search the web and scrape documents and give it to the LLM, you flood the context window. With this ref tools, it'll maybe use 2,000 tokens total for like a whole bunch of searching. And so the analogy that I use for the reason why I like ref.tools is because imagine that like a big dump truck showed up in front of your house and you're basically wanting to look for a specific tool inside of like this pile of junk that's in your front yard. Like that's basically what happens when you connect an MCP to an LLM. So like, here's a bunch of stuff, go find it. And so that fills up your context window, which is your thinking, and you have to like do all this work to get it. Ref.tools is like calling an Uber and saying, yo, I need this like crazy saw. Can you go pick it up at the store and get it for me? And ref.tools is basically going over, gets the stuff for you, and then brings it back. And it's like, yep, this is exactly what you needed. And so that's what you're doing when you're offloading these types of requests to it. And this is probably like my most highly recommended one. Not sponsored by these guys, but I love them so much. I want to do a partnership with them. And I like everything that I use, I really believe deeply in them. And it's for a reason, because I do a lot of engineering work behind this, and I want to make sure that it's efficient for me. So if it is efficient for me, it's probably going to be for you as well. And so, yeah, that's ref.tools. Obviously, they have all the public docs, but you can also do private docs too. So you can upload your repos, you can upload your private documentation. No one else is going to have access to it. And it can actually, when you do a request for the search, it's going to search in that type of thing. So this is a really amazing way to keep everything kind of together for your stuff. So highly recommend it. Let me put this link into the chat so y'all can have this right now. So there you go. I don't know if I missed it, but you and Bridgemite are going to cook soon. Yeah, that's on Wednesday. We got some stuff coming up on Wednesday, so stay tuned. Maybe Tuesday, depending on when the cursor drop is. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, this ref.tools is not token expensive, so you must try this. And Exa code. So the reason why I have the Exa one still installed in Droid is because there's a deep research option, which I don't use that much, but I do use it sometimes in some conversations. But the other part is Exa-code. So if you say use Exa code or use Exa code MCP, that is super fast at returning a lot of the documentation you need at a very token efficient type of thing, which is different from its web search stuff as well. So that's kind of the one that I was thinking about here. So yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so now what it's saying, we're almost done with this app, this feature. Continue with phase 5, quick cleanup. Okay, so what's phase 5? Remove the map URLs, simplify front end, no async URL generation. Yes. Yes, bros. Looks great. To phase 5. Okay, cool. Epic. This is awesome. Yeah, we're cooking with it right now. Okay, so it's really funny, like this whole live stream thing. So yeah. All right, so I got this cable. I need to figure out why my prompter thing doesn't work, and that'll probably be a different thing. I'm gonna just see if I can do that right now in another window. So what I'm gonna do is gonna do ChatGPT. Can I just do search? I just got the Elgato Promptor XL, and I've connected the USB to my M3 MacBook Pro, and the display turns on, then it turns off, but I still see the blue light, and I'm wondering if others are seeing this issue and if this is a common problem right now. I'm trying to figure out how to connect my external display to this. Okay, and then what I'm also going to do is open up another chat window here, and then just ask my droid. Droid. Okay, let's go do some research. I want you to help me do some research. I want you to help me with some unrelated research on using Exa MCP for the following. So this is going to go basically use the XMCP, which to me is it's kind of like calling an AI agent. See how it does all these like parallel searches for you, and it's going to research the prompter display issue. So Exa also searches Discords, by the way. It goes into Discord channels and scrapes them. And when I asked an issue about Convex, it actually went into the Convex Discord, scraped information that people were talking about, an issue, and it had that in its context. This is why I love the XMCP, separately from all the other stuff, by the way. So that's different from Exa Web Search, which is also what's being done here too. And it's another reason why I have the XMCP installed, because there's a lot of these developer communities are also on Discord, and you just can't scrape Discord as effectively. And Exa does that for you. So that's another super fire thing there too. Elgato Prompter, how to connect the smartphone. Okay, executing 2 more tools. So yeah, I treat this almost like a ChatGPT, if you know what I mean, for the Exa one. So here we are there. We're going to kind of compare the results from this. Is a common early hiccup in Macs. The most always either display link permissions or insufficient USB. Oh, so there's probably a permission I need to set to fix this here. So install the update that's needed. Oh, okay. So I'll probably have to do this, the link manager. So I have to go, okay, this is a really useful thing here. Okay. So my display for the Elgato thing probably just needs these additional steps. Because I'm setting up live and I'm coding, I probably just got distracted and just didn't really get to that. Curious to see what X is going to come up with here. And let's go back to see where our code is so far. So far we're vibe coding this change. And for those who aren't familiar, I'm basically updating my app called Anime Leak. And like I'm officially going to make it super official, but we're going to use the Vercel Blob for blob storage. So right now the problem I have is that it's so slow to get the images and then put them up from Convex into somewhere else. And I also found out that it's extremely cost effective. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is, by doing it with Vercel Blob storage, instead of paying like $70 a month or like $80 a month, depending on the traffic that I get, it'll probably cost me like $10 or something like that, less than that. And so that'd be really, really cool. My goal is to try to like make it, I want to iterate as fast as possible with these different ideas, and like some type of infrastructure that's going to allow it to do all the caching and everything. So the advantage of using Next.js, the framework, is its ability to do this like image caching, all the different stuff for like processing and optimization, especially if you deploy it on Vercel's network. And then the Vercel Blob storage too is extremely cost effective too. So the other thing that I ran into with Convex is that if I did not pre-warm the server to store it, to pull back the image, whenever I would try to hit the endpoint to like actually upload the image and like do the caching stuff, it would time out. And sometimes the user's image can take like a minute to show up. It's like, it's already there. Google already returned the image and it's not shown to the user, you know? So that was like another thing. So now basically I just, from the image, whenever a user uploads the image, it's gonna get processed and it's gonna get created just like this. And then Vercel's blob storage is gonna take that image from Google, immediately throw it up on their thing without, you know, because it's super hot. It's almost like memory. And then that little value is going to get written inside of a Convex. So Convex is just going to store a string, which is going to say, hey, this is this user's image. Here's the URL of where this is stored. And if you want to get this later, just go ahead and use this URL type of thing. And that's what you're going to basically be able to get back. And so this is kind of where, you know, I've been trying to understand different image optimization techniques. And I've, like a couple live streams ago, we looked up doing this for Cloudflare, what that cost would be, doing this on Vercel, doing this on Convex, doing this on, you know, R2, doing this on AWS, spinning up servers to do sharp image processing. There's a whole variety of things that I had no clue, and we went really deep on. This is kind of the technology that I've settled with here, which is using Vercel Blob. So everything will be everything what we need here. So before and after image toggle. Okay, so this is the optional bonus feature, which is I wanted to show both. So like, yeah, let's go ahead. Please proceed, test. Okay, so we can upload. This is great. Let's go with phase 6. Cool, awesome. So this is going to add an interactive toggle to the details. So basically, we've already implemented the feature. That whole rewrite has already been implemented, and then we can kind of go look and see all the different changes that we've done so far. So one of the apps that I use also is called Git Tower. Okay, I don't think this is going to be working the way I work it. Okay. Do we initialize our branch here? Uncommitted changes. Okay. Oh yeah, so here's all of our changes so far. Oh yeah, we've already committed a lot of changes. All right, cool. So phase 2, internal action, upload to Vercel Blob and generate. Okay, so this is what we're doing. Fetch from convex storage, upload to Vercel Blob, generate the database with blob URL. Okay, this is like a workaround. Yeah, cool. What are we doing here? Phase 6, get the image pair. This is awesome. Sweet. You've been using that paraspeech tool from X lately. Is it better than WhisperFlow? So WhisperFlow is still the best. I keep going back. So WhisperFlow right now, like gets all my little words, nuances. It restructures all the text correctly into like the different lines and the paragraphs and stuff. So I think that's kind of where I actually ended up with that. Yeah. Okay, so we're still finishing up this vibe code thing here. All right, so yeah, officially, yeah, image model. Okay, cool. We're basically, we're shipping crazy amounts of features right now. What I want to go ahead and do is see if I can get the Vercel Blob storage stuff set up over here in a different window. And let me see if I can kind of get that going right now. Vercel, I'm going to just get a blob URL set up, and then that way I can deploy it and have it deployed in the background, and we can test it, and it should work live, I think. So while that's going, I'm going to go ahead get this integration going here. That's kind of funny. So storage, I'm going to say create a database, say a blob storage. So for those who are wondering, basically this is kind of what I'm doing over here on my side of things. I'm basically going to Vercel and then going to where it says create a blob storage, but I don't want to leak any of those credentials, so that's kind of why I'm doing this off the screen while it does that work. And then we're also watching the, oh my gosh, it does this sometimes. It'll do this like re-render thing. But you can see we basically have just used one window for the entire time inside of Droid because it's managing the context for us, which is really amazing. So yeah, so now it's basically already done. Damn. That's insane. So we created this. Holy smokes. We are shipping fast. Okay. So let me go ahead and continue here in my blob storage. I'm going to name it anime leak. I'm going to put that into Washington. Hello there, George Washington. And then I think what I need is settings. And then I need the projects, browser. Getting started. Let's see, projects, settings, store name, store ID, base URL for blobs. Okay, so I just need the store ID. Okay, oh, the blob rewrite token. Okay, cool. So here we go. I'm gonna put that into convex dashboard. Okay, so we got the migration complete. Dang, we shipped the whole thing already. Whoa, that massive feature. Holy smokes. Okay, in this live stream, we've literally unboxed my whole thing here. Like, we unboxed the Elgato thing, and I'm gonna figure out how to get this display connected. But like while we were doing that, I got sidetracked because I can't just stop shipping software. And we literally just implemented this like re-architecture with the convex storage AI generation. And so this is what we're doing before. This is what I was talking about, the cold start for the displaying. This is what was slow. Now when the user uploads, it's going to go to Vercel Blob, instantly show up, and then show the display toggle. And then when the AI image set finishes displaying, it's going to hit the Vercel Blob CDN and just immediately display it. So now we should be able to upload the images. And then I have, these are all the files it's changed. So not a lot of files. And then if we look at this type of thing here, okay, so now we can, dang, so let's see if I can take a look at how much, like, let's see, context, sessions, status, context. compress, clear. Let's see, cost. Show the. Okay, so this whole session was about 4.9 million tokens to ship this like massive feature. And so there was 12 million tokens for the cache read. There was like 1.8 million for the cache creation. So, I mean, I'll scroll back. I mean, you'll see how far back I go. So the beginning of this session was about tracking down a bug in the image generation pipeline. So this is how the whole conversation started. 4.8 million tokens ago, right? This was like earlier today at 7 a.m. So this was my conversation, literally just giving it this bug. And from there, we went down the whole rabbit hole of like research. This was all the research that was done. This is exactly how like it looked up for the optimistic configuration, like in the documentation search. Like all of this stuff happened. And then these are like some of the initial plans. And then me even iterating through those plans. Plan rejected. Is this for Next.js 15? You know, this type of stuff. And so then we continued on to the point where I figured out, oh, I could just do everything on Vercel. So I can show you cost. Yeah, so the cost, there's a cost breakdown. So the cost tracking for Vercel. So it says I've reduced my cost by 97%. So here's the insight. 1,000 generations would have cost me $70. And then now it's going to cost me like $1.58 or something like that. That's awesome. So yeah, that's going to be super fire, which is kind of why I want to make it like very accessible for everyone so they can start using this. This is crazy. So yeah, that's the Droid. I did all that research and everything. We shipped that feature, everything here live, like 4.5 million tokens. Insane. So any advice on good but not bank-breaking cameras for YouTube that will be compatible with the teleprompter? So I know that people talk about the Sony camera. There's a Sony camera that's really good. That's a mirrorless camera you probably want to get. And that'll be compatible with like the teleprompter there. Like you just need a really good lens and a camera, like a Sony mirrorless or whatever. You'll be really good. To be honest, you could probably just get away with an iPhone. Do you need the prompter? Probably not for the very beginning. You just need to kind of talk to the camera. The prompter helps. Like I added a prompter later on in my live streams because I was doing more of this interactivity. But if you have the money, for sure, like definitely worth investing into a pretty good camera. So I'll help you make a full teleprompter video. I think I might. Yeah, I think that could be probably useful here. Let me get this blob storage thing configured real quick. So let me go to Anime Leak. And so I want to get this thing configured so that way I have it in the, so we can do an end-to-end test. So here's the environment variables and I have the blob. Okay, so I have the blob read write token. I'm going to change that from placeholder to this and hit save. Okay, so now I have it saved. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is go into here and then let me go ahead and see if I can sign into localhost 3000. Internal server error. Oh, that's because I need to start my servers. So Bonix convex dev, make sure I push all the changes. Okay. And then once that's set, okay, then I do bon dev. Okay. Sweet 3001. Okay. Chronic 3001. Okay, so that's the Elgato issue. Localhost 3001. Okay, cool. Sign in to start. Let me just go ahead and sign in real quick. And then we're just gonna check this out, see if it works. I think it should work. I may need to add some more tokens to myself. So on the back end, I'll do that while I go here. So we'll see. So the user should be loading me back up. Come on, buddy. Did we get, okay, set the cookie. Cool, now we're here. So because convex is reactive, I'm just gonna change it on the back end to 77. And now we have 77 credits, let's go. All right, so now if we drag an image in here, like this one, I think this one, hold on. Let's try this one. Actually, Atlas. Yeah, let's try this one. Okay, so now it should be able to upload it. And then we should, okay, we get an error. Okay, so this is about the gallery images painted paginated outputs. Okay, so when I upload, Upstream failed to respond. Okay. This is running. Okay. Cool. So I'm just going to tell Droid to fix this thing. What else is going on? Okay. So I'll just upload these logs here. Hiding after filtering. So it says object contains extra field blob URL in the URL validator. Okay, I think there's just an implementation detail here. Okay, so now I'm gonna say, help me fix the following bug after uploading the image. I see this really long thing. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna let it do its bug fixing thing. All right, y'all, let's see what's going on with the comments. Okay. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, cool. Good night, Ray. I really appreciate all the content and how you break it down and make it more simple to understand. Keep pumping out the content. Wish you well, my friend. Hey, Dave IM or DA Davim 1966. That's a great year to be born, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support everyone's been kind of showing up and hanging out with me. I think it's exciting to be able to share back this excitement for what we're doing here. So yeah, let's see what's going on now. All right, so what did it find the bug? So it says, I found it. The gallery images paginated query returns a validator is missing the blob URL field. Okay, so all we have to do is just add that in. We're good, huh? That's nice. Phase 5 added for blob. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, fix the missing thing. So now we should be able to re-upload it and have a good time. So let's see if I can do that. All right, so images. Ooh, I see the blob URL now. Okay. So I think it already has the blob URL because I do see it already showing up on my backend, but I'm just gonna double check. Okay, so now it should have this working. So let's go and double check now. Let's go check out. All right, cash me out. Whoa. Oh. Let me restart the server real quick. This is still airing out. So what I'm gonna do is just quit this stuff, restart this, and then just restart fresh, just to make sure I don't have any bad states. Actually, what I'm also gonna do is run a command. I think it's called, oh, so here's the configuration. Okay, ls of something. Hold on, I think I have it in here. ls of ti, hold on, control R, ls of, is it pkill? No, kill. Okay, here we go. So this is what I wanted to do. I want to kill all the current sessions that are open. This command should kill everything. So this should kill this and also kill this. Yeah, okay, so that way I just go back, open back up on port 3000. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Convex functions are ready. Yes. Sweet. All right, so I should be able to now go back onto port 3000 here. I don't know, I just like port 3000. It's kind of OG. All right, so we're logged in. I go here and then boom, this is my problem. So I could just grab this. So when I click validate, yeah, so this is probably the same problem. It's just gonna add that in there. So now when the user clicks the image in the gallery to show the view, they get a crash with the following convex logs from the backend. Okay, paste, perfect. I think that's the URL, right? Let's see. This is the Vercel Blob placeholder data URL. Okay, that's cool. This is noise. So the reason why, yeah, I'm using the Vercel thing is because of the speed and cost effectiveness and the edge processing. So like Vercel, all pretty much in one fell swoop. I don't have to implement a bunch of different libraries, and you know, I'm going to pay for the processing on their end, but for as far as scalability, I think the trade-off is well worth it. But as far as cost, it's extremely cost effective compared to Cloudflare's R2 solution, plus like implementing more code to run different workers and stuff in Cloudflare to pull that back in. I mean, it's not that it's that much harder, but I'm already deploying on Vercel, so it's just easier to have everything there. Cost difference is going to matter more when I go into like hundreds of thousands of users. And actually, it may turn out that Vercel may be cheaper at scale anyways. So I'm just trying to stick with one platform. Okay, so basically what's the fix? The root cause is it uses the map to URLs, which turns complete objects with all fields, but the validator only specified this, and it was missing these. So it applied the get image pair validator. Okay, awesome. So this should be pretty good now. Oh, it already fixed those. Okay, cool. So now we should be able to see them. Refresh. Oh, with image fallback. Okay, let me reboot the server. Let me reboot clear. Okay, let me just redo these here. So we're back here. We're back, bam. Okay, so we're ready here. This guy's ready. Let's go localhost 3000. Should be good, right? Okay, boom, crash. Okay, so we're seeing invalid SRC prop. Okay, boom, what is it? So this is what I see on my back end. Okay, so after this, this is what I see on the back end. And then here is what I see on the front end. And okay, cool. So what's the problem? So the host name, is not configured under images in your Next.js config. So yes, I think it's a security issue because it has to be put into the remote pattern for this type of thing. So that way it's going to be allowed to be displayed in my app. Yeah, nice. So yeah, protocol HTTPS, and it should be allowing this. So now we should be able to, because yeah, it's like a Next.js security thing. Sweet. Noise. Show original. Show generated. Oh, this is pretty cool. Oh, this is a really good one. Copy share link. Now it's working. Bro, my app is ready. Oh, okay. So now when I share it, this looks great. Okay. This fixed it. Now when I click share image and open that up, I get, and then can you check the other places where we do this stuff as well? I keep finding bugs. Okay, so I'm giving it this kind of longer processing task. Let me catch up a little bit with the comments because I'm super behind right now. Say hi to Scott from the hackathon. Yo, Scott, what's going on, man? Yo, mahalo, Scott. Hopefully you're doing well. It was really cool to meet everyone. So if you guys don't know, there's some folks from the hackathon. Scott, I think Scott was sitting next to me at the hackathon. I don't know if I have an image. I'll have to pull up that. And Scott was, I think, next to me, and there was some other person who was with me at the hackathon, and we were kind of like vibing along and figuring out the challenge. And so I took off the massive challenge to try to like make this crazy system with like all this crazy database. It's an admin system, a front-end system, all this different things. So I didn't have enough time. It turns out like for 3 hours, I should probably have chosen a more lightweight thing where I can actually get some results right away. So that was it. And my buddy Scott, because I think he lives up here in Oahu. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Amazing that we're all kind of hanging out here together. And so, yeah, what's up, man? So fun. Hey, Ray, really wondering about Droid. I use Claude Code combined with Codex CLI as my planner. How does Droid work better for you? So with Droid, I basically use it in spec mode, and I use Sonnet 4.5 for planning. And I choose the model and I say high thinking. So the high thinking is really, really good. I also sometimes use GPT-5 Codex for the implementation of the code. And so I've found lately, as of recently, Sonnet 4.5 for implementing code to be really, really good. It does cost a little bit more to use it. It's like 1.2 as far as a multiplier for tokens, but the results are really good. You're seeing how this in one session, it doesn't have like a million token context window, but we've been able to crush through that many tokens all in one session. And the Droid is really good at caching and making sure that it's understanding the relevant context for what you're doing right now. And there's a reason why it scores the best in Terminal Bench for Sonnet 4.5 is because of that reason. I used to use Claude Opus for planning, but I can also switch to GPT-5 High. So it costs, like, if you get 20 million tokens from Droid or 40 million, if you just exclusively use GPT-5, you can get basically 80 million tokens out of it. So it's basically a 2x multiplier, or you get 0.5 multiplier, so you can actually get more for your buck. So you can also use that, like I use GPT-5 High for planning if you wanted to, or solving or debugging, and use that in spec mode. And then when you want to use the model, you can then use Sonnet 4.5 or something like that. So yeah, you can kind of play around with it. I prefer Droid. I've been using cursor plan mode with cursor. It's really fast. But the problem with cursor is that they keep creating new chats and keep passing in that context of my previous plan of like where we're at, what we committed. And I lose a lot of that really good, like rich history tool. And so, Droid already kind of caches tool calls and caches all those other things that would take up your context window. And it's like, I find it super really like focused and narrow there. So this is kind of what I'm seeing now. So now what did it do here? So did it find some more stuff? I'm just going to double check the code real quick. So it says you're right, I should check all queries that return it. So now it checked more of the queries and basically found them. And then I also wanted to check the metadata files too. So for admin, yeah, so my admin flows would have broken to, nice, add blob URL to admin query validators. This is great. Cool. One last thing, can you check? Let's see. One last thing, can you also check the metadata? Because I believe we use some of the images in the metadata for sharing. For example, like if somebody posted to Twitter, we should be able to see the image there. Okay, and let's just refresh. This should already be fixed. Nice. So now when people like share a link, it's going to have this unique URL with a share, and this is kind of what they're seeing. And so this is all running on Vercel's blob storage, and this is going to be cached. So like if they have like a smaller device, then we'll only get that type of cache. And then if they're looking for like, this is the full-on URL. So when it's going to pass in like the bigger full-size query parameters, that's what it's going to pull out from the Vercel blob storage, which theoretically it already downloaded. Yeah, nice. And it compressed it for me, because when I get this image back from Google, this image is about like 1.5 megabytes. So with Vercel blob storage and the whole pipeline, I'm basically getting the image back. It does the compression, and then that way it doesn't eat up all my bandwidth. I didn't have to write any code for that, because I was writing code for that, which really was pain in the ass. But it's all handled now through Vercel. Like as Next.js, if you just use next image, it's already done for you. Like it's amazing. I understand now why they go through a lot of pain to try to make this really useful and easy. And I don't think people really realize what they're getting into when they're like making fun of, or like not really fully understanding the system and how powerful it is. So I want to go to my desktop now, and then I want to go to so many screenshots, sample images. And so the sample image I wanted to try was the one with my doggy. So let's do that. Okay. So let's see. Okay, there's a bug here. Oh, because I'm still changing code. Haha. Yeah, the page is being re-rendered because I'm changing code underneath it. My bad. Yeah, let's see what's going on. So what is it doing now? So the last thing you check, okay, so it's doing this. It's using image URL by image IDs. So let me verify the flow is correct. So it's not using the new map to images. So manually getting the storage. Yeah, this is the bug. This is a good one. See, a lot of times I just remember this stuff, but it's all vibes For more issues, several queries are still manually calling this instead of using let me fix them. So it's still finding them. This is amazing. So where are we going here? So images, phase 5, mapping images, prefer Vercel Blob URLs. Yes, this is awesome. So batch generation for better performance. Map URLs back effectively. Okay, awesome. Phase 5, use mapped images to prefer Vercel Blob URLs. Yes. Awesome. Generate images for each. Got it. Okay, so now it says queries are returning convex storage instead of Vercel blobs. So now the updated queries all have these ones. And so the social sharing, all gallery queries, now instant loading CDN URLs, metadata tags, and eliminates the old 30-second code starts. Yes. This is epic. Okay, so all metadata and URLs fixed. Issues found. Cool. This is awesome. So now the social media now uses the Vercel tag, Vercel blob. So previously it was using the old convex stuff. Epic. This is beautiful. Shoosh. Oh my, oh, we're cooking. Oh man, that's cool. So I'll show you what the original looks like down here. And then show the original and then show the generated. Oh, that's super cute. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Damn, that's really cool. Wow. Yo, I updated my prompt, by the way, and I like the new prompt. It's actually really cute. Oh my gosh, let's do some more. So I want to do this one. Oh, what's the issue? Oh, my connection issue. Yeah, let me just reload the page. Everything just re-rendered. Okay, let me just rebuild. This is epic. Okay, so now we're here. Let me refresh. And then let me also open up a localhost 3000 here. Okay, so now that we have this, let's just say I want to feature this one. Feature in public gallery. Boom. Okay, so let me just copy this here. So help me fix this last part where feature in the gallery. It shows this error in convex. Boom. Whoops. Yeah, cool. So I think this is still using the old, let's see, pagination, cursor, number of items, base 64, placeholder data URL. Okay. What else do we have here? Upstream response failed. Okay. All right, let me clear this out. I may have to re-render. So what's happening? Yep. So in images, now we need to have the admin stuff. That's right. Okay, cool. Dang, I think we're almost done. Great content. Thanks for all the insight. Keep it up. Are you in Hawaii full-time or SF? I would say San Francisco. And so yeah, I'll be back in San Francisco in December. Mo Lurker, where are you from? It's really cool. All right, cool. So we updated the blob URL. We've made a lot of changes so far. Okay, now I'm going to reload the app. Convex functions are ready. Bun dev. Sick. Now we're cooking. It's kind of funny how I'm like at the edge of my seat. I really should be sitting over here. Oh, this is too good. Awesome, same here. I'm from Hawaii, but live in San Francisco. No way. Yo, what part of Hawaii? Also, where in San Francisco? Let's hang. Okay, so let's see. So now I have the app up. Let me just refresh again. Okay, we're good. Post. Let's do my friends here. I've been dabbling outside of React.js frameworks. Do you have a favorite experience with other frameworks? I came up with using AI to code, started learning on my own. AI loves React. Yes. I think if you're up for it, you should play around with Swift. I think you'll have a good time. The payoff right now may not be worth it, but if you stick with it for a couple of years with Swift and the new MLX stuff and the new AI on device things, you're going to be ready for when that's going to land in the next couple of years. It's coming super fast. It's already kind of here, and a lot of people I know are working on the core frameworks to make it easier for you to adapt. So if you start learning that programming language right now, since you already know some of the React stuff, you already kind of have a mental model for like how UI is rendered and then what to do with data. So that, or just go deeper on, you know, using React and stuff like that. So there's no harm in trying to learn something else, especially in parallel, because now you're able to combine and mash the concepts together and apply things you learn from one space and then apply it to another one. So just FYI, yeah. So what I like about this new update that I've done is like the performance tends to be pretty fast, but I don't know why this one's still so slow. Okay. Is it just a one-time cache hit? Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's pretty wild. Okay, that's pretty cool actually. Awesome. Okay, so if I featured like this image here, go back into settings. Okay, so it needs my approval. /admin. Okay, so if I go and approve, awesome. Now if I open up the browser, localhost 3000. Okay, oh, these are both private. Okay, so now I'm featured here, cool. So if I go back to my, okay, so if I feature like this one, share settings, feature in public gallery, and then since I'm the admin, I can approve it. Approve. Cool. Now I should be able to go here, and this should be okay. Cool. Sweet. That's pretty awesome. Damn, this is so cool. Yeah. Oh wow. So I want to try some more images. Let's see. Localhost 3000. So I got this one. Now my puppy here. Little Miss Moochie. This is cool. All right. So we can click it. It shows the original. And then we should get, oh, I got a 404. I wonder what happened. Failed. Oh, why am I still seeing this? Okay. That's probably why. Okay, cool. This is cute. That's adorable. Actually, that's really cute. I'm gonna share this. Huh. This is awesome. Okay. That's super cute. Approve. Okay. I'm gonna fix this bug. Okay, so the bug I'm seeing is, what was the bug? Okay. I noticed after uploading an image to be processed, I'm seeing this in the back convex logs. Okay. So it should have enough context because I haven't killed the chat to know that like, hey, I thought we were supposed to switch everything over to Vercel Blob. And so this is kind of what I'm telling it to look out for. I like to run my processes in a separate terminal window instead of putting them inside of Cursor. For whatever reason, inside of Cursor, whenever you have them in there, Cursor will like truncate, like only show like the last 1,000 of them. But if you have them open in a separate terminal window, you can keep scrolling back forever, which I find super useful, especially for this type of stuff. So yeah, because a lot of times a lot of stuff will fly by. So what's Droid saying? Clean up. Okay, so now it's actually reading the file and cleaning up. Okay, so now it's actually looking for this type of thing. Good catch. Found it, the race condition. So after it uploads, there's no blob URL yet. The gallery queries it immediately and falls back to the convich storage URL. The front end starts loading that URL, and then the action runs delete convich storage immediately. Front end storage gets one. Why don't we just put it into Vercel? Yeah. Keep as a fallback. Upload. Keeping during the generation. Oh, okay. I guess my question here that I don't really know is like, is it going to be faster to upload it to Vercel Blob and have Vercel Blob send it over to Google Gemini, like via an API call? Because right now I'm basically taking the image, like the user gets, I do some compression on the client side. So the web browser, as soon as you upload like an iPhone image, it's going to compress the image in the browser on your phone or on your laptop. And then that right now looks like it gets uploaded to Convex. So Convex is then taking that function and passing that on to Google, and they're doing the magic, and then they're writing it to the Vercel Blob. Maybe I should just write it directly to Vercel Blob instead of just writing it to Convex. So I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. So that way we kind of know what's up. So yeah. Let me catch up with the comments as well. So yeah, this is up. So let me just get that kicked off before I forget and catch up with the comments as well. So just to double check, when the user uploads immediately, it goes to Convex. Why don't we just push that to Vercel? What's the risk here? Actually, I'm just not even gonna ask that. Yeah. Okay. So originally when a user would upload the image, we would do some type of client-side processing to make it smaller. And then we would then upload that to Convex. Why don't we just upload it to Vercel instead? I think this is kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here. Okay, cool. Let me see what's up with the comments. I've been dabbling outside. Okay, Honolulu for, oh, Nopa for 4 years, Pacifica now. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's connect. If you're on X, hit me up, RayFernando1237, same handle as my YouTube, and send me a message there. It'll be kind of fun to connect. If you're got any connections or social stuff, just drop them in the comments here, then I can go back and later look it up. Svelte seems interesting and usually comes highly recommended. I was thinking about dabbling in that. Maybe working with AI to code up a project of that. Yeah, for sure. Check out those frameworks and stuff. I need to check out Svelte too. The pic animated with you and your dog turned out great. Yeah, so I have a prompt that I worked on, and I could show you a little bit more about that because I had Google Gemini help me write this prompt and stuff like that. Or I had Opus write the prompt for Gemini. Have you checked the GPT image model? Is it any better? So the GPT image model is really, really slow. I actually have a video on that I didn't release because the Nano Banana came out. So the Google one is so fast, in less than a couple seconds, you get all this done. The OpenAI image model with high fidelity is very inconsistent, number one. Number two, the cost is really high. It's like 100x more. And then three is that it can take upwards of a minute plus to run the whole generation. And that's too slow for me. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing here. So what are we doing here? So it says the client gets the blob, uploads it directly to the blob, and then the server creates a DB record with this, done, no convex storage at all. Perfect. Trade-off to consider. The current convex storage work has one advantage. Convex handles the upload infrastructure. Resumable uploads, progress, and retries. To upload directly to Vercel Blob, we need to either use Vercel's client SDK or get pre-signed URLs like Convex does. Given that it's working and you're near the end of migration, I'd suggest don't schedule an async action, upload the Vercel Blob synchronously in the mutation, and then delete convex storage immediately. No race conditions and boot code. Okay. Keep the current flow, but don't schedule an async action. Upload to Vercel Blob synchronously in the mutation. Oh, I like this. And then delete the blob storage immediately. So that way I basically save space, but then eventually goes back to Vercel, and then we can kind of reference that image back. Oh, I like that. Or I can implement Vercel Blob client uploads. No, I think this is going to be later. What we deploy first. So the current, okay. Oh, see, this is really important. This is really good to know. So the better architecture though is get Vercel Blob URL from this one. This is what they're saying. Basically, like, this might be my second task for tomorrow. It's just like get the blob URL, upload it directly, and then call the mutation with this. But this is exactly what Convex is already doing. And I think I was trying to figure out why I even had this problem to begin with. I think it's basically, okay, you're absolutely right. Okay, so upload synchronously. If I do nothing, what's the risk? If I do nothing right now, what is the risk or race conditions that can happen? I'm just kind of curious. So like, as is, it technically works. So there, nothing's technically broken, which is good. It's always a good thing to have. Let's see. Awesome. Wow. Super fast. Load more. Yeah, okay. Let's do another one. Let's do this one. So it's uploading. So this technically has gone to Convex. So Convex is already providing that infrastructure for me, and that's what's sending it off to Google Gemini. And then now it's doing something funny. I don't know what's going on. What's happening? Oh, there's a timeout. Uh-huh. This is weird. Okay, I can't be having this. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay, cool. Wow. That's pretty awesome. That's actually pretty cool. So, I see the problem. So, I see, I just uploaded an image and saw this, saw a, the front end show a spinner, and I saw this error in the front end logs. Okay, what is the best approach for this? Okay. Okay. GPT Image Mini 1. I don't think I've got a chance to play around with this. Is this supposed to be like the competitor? Because I'd love to know more. I'm hearing so much about Droid. Is it that much better than just using Claude Code? Yeah, 1000%. That's what I'm using right now. So I've gone through almost 3.5 million tokens, and I haven't had to change the chat. And so it feels like you have this nice long context window. And what they're doing is basically optimizing that all throughout the way. And so they're only pulling the relevant things to send to the language model and then sending that back. But then you get this nice rich history of everything you're doing, especially when you're just working on a feature like this. So I've been working on this feature since this morning, and this is still the session that's still going on. And you know, that's all this research, bug reporting, bug fixing. We're still in the same chat type of thing. So that's kind of in Cursor, in Claude Code, in Codex, you have to create new chats and then carry over the information to those new chats every single time, which gets really exhausting. And so the advantage of Droid is that you don't have to do that. You just kind of stay in that one window, and it's just hands down amazing. There's a reason why it scored the best on Terminal Bench with Sonnet 4.5 is because of this type of stuff. It's just too good. Yeah, it's like way too good. Say less, say less. Also, if you want to try it, if you haven't had a chance to, you can get 40 million tokens with this link here. I don't benefit financially from this, but you should do it. Groid. No, Ray Factory. So if you hit this link, that'll get you the factory. That'll get you 40 million tokens to get started with if you haven't signed up yet. So you definitely go ahead and check that out. If you already signed up and you haven't got the free tokens yet, if you can send me a DM on X, and then I'll forward your email on or whatever to whoever, and I'll make sure that they take care of you guys. Yeah. Because they have sponsored the show, and I always make sure my people get taken care of. Speaking of sponsors, if you want to check out Graphite too, so they just sponsored the Saturday stream. They have the AI code review stuff, which is amazing. And we're about to probably get one of those AI code reviews right now after my screen stops flipping out. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of crazy. Can I move my mouse? Okay. Sorry. I don't want to cause a heart attack here. Come on. Come on. Okay, what's going on? Okay. So what do we have here? What is going on? Okay, cool. So we finished. All right, cool. Let's see. Storage ID. It just fixed the bug. Cool. So it says the problem is the user uploads to convex storage. The DB record is no blob URL. Okay. And the next JMS tries to load and fails. Cold start. So yeah, this is the cold start problem I kept getting. This is why I changed over. So eventually blob URL is set, but it's too late. Okay, so let me implement this correctly. So now it does this. Generate the Vercel Blob URL for the client side. Okay, I guess we're just gonna straight up do it. It just said, hold my beer. We're gonna just implement blob storage from the client side. Just get rid of the convex one. Okay. Upload directly to Vercel Blob, no convex storage. Bro, Claude is aggressive. Yo, I like this actually. Damn, look at that. Actually, this is really good. Oh my God, bro. Yo, this is crazy. We're doing this right now. We really did. Oh my God. Okay, so the client gets the blob URL from here and then uploads directly to Vercel Blob. No fallback. Dang. This is the proper solution for the cold start problem. Sheesh, bro. Okay. Now it's gonna run the tools. Yeah. Did we fix everything? Yeah, we still have these bugs to fix here for the type errors. So it's gonna fix that. And in the front end, are we good in the front end? Yes, it compiled. So yeah, we still gotta fix these type issues about all the generated stuff. Wow. So yeah, it's gonna go ahead and fix those. Is there a solution for the weird automatic scrolling thing that occurs? No, I've not seen anything. That'd be so cool if it does though. LSD body. Okay, storage. Yeah, this looks good. Cool. Dang, son. Are we still hitting some issues? Yeah, we still have some more errors. Analyzing source. Okay. And storage ID. Yeah, it's gonna keep fixing my bugs. That's wild. I like these so far. These are kind of cute. Yeah. This is awesome. This is a good bug fix. We're just chilling. Let me see what's going on my phone. It's already 7:30 dinner time. Oh, cool. I just got a message from Mo. Let's see. Requests? Yo. Primary. Yo. Let's cook, fam. Yes. Cool. That's funny how people find me on the grams. Same handle, Ray Fernando 1337. Yeah, I'm glad I set one up for that. Early morning, check in. Oh, where are you from right now? If it's early morning, you're probably in like London or like Dubai area, right? I think. Oh my gosh. The scroll of death. Here we go. So now we should have fixed everything. So now basically we don't have the timeout and client gets served the URL and then the blob gets there, the DB record is created and then the API is now persisted. This is hot. So skips convex storage entirely. Sheesh. Yo, this is crazy. So now we have some new APIs and some new code. Damn, son. So now the client uploads, goes to Vercel Blob with the URL, generation uses blob URL, DB has body, convex, maps to this, images, okay. Ooh, this is crazy. Okay, let me just, everything should be built now, right? With convex? Yeah, everything's, damn. Let me just rebuild the whole page right now. Just re-render everything. Okay, we should be chill. Bonex, convex dev. Wow. Okay. Yo, Droid is killing it right now. Let's see, I'm gonna do slash cost. So we're at 6.9 million tokens. We're using a lot of tokens. We shipped a lot of features though. We did like 2 big rewrites all in one session right now. That's crazy. That's insane, actually. Bro, this is so fast. It's NASCAR. Oh my god. Yo, this is crazy. Let's check out the new upload thing. Okay, I got to do a little bit of smooch. So now we have an issue. What's the issue? Throw blob stack status. Okay, cool. So I uploaded it and I get this. The client, and I see this bug. And then let me just copy this here. Copy. Paste. Yeah. Okay. App page. Blob response. Okay. So it didn't get a good okay. Oh, I need the secret to be written in my environment variable. Haha. That's why. Yes. So I need to write this to the client. So, okay, the blob token is configured in the convex set, but Next.js API routes can't access convex environment variables. They need their own. So now it's going to go ahead and, okay, so I do like this. So I was going to double check this because what happens is that we have a couple of options here, and this is kind of what I'm seeing. And this is totally vibe coded because I'm literally on my couch, like with my computer is like right here, and I'm like, and the screen is over. So for those who don't know, this is the camera setup right now, and like I'm literally vibe coding right here on the screen over there. All right, let me just say right here, I'm so tired of like being on the edge of my seat the whole time. So, okay, so as of now, what's happening is that with Next.js, it created a route handler. So that's wherever I deploy on Vercel, it's going to hit that endpoint. So that's open to anyone who wants to hit /API/ whatever it is. And so with Convex, they have their own like route handlers too. And that just sits on their own database. So they have like different URLs. There's a whole scheme. There's a lot of extra stuff that comes in with that. So I can just write a function and host it on Vercel, on Convex, and hit that instead. So what's nice about that is that like, I can turn that into like an internal call. So that way, actually I have to expose that publicly. So the client, which is basically my app, can talk to Convex and they can do additional checks. Since my authentication is already happening on the background in Convex, I can do a check when it hits it up saying, hey, is this the user that's wanting access to this blob storage? Make sure that they are authorized to do this. That way other people can't just send up random things. They have to be like authenticated and have tokens and all this other extra stuff. So I think this is kind of the instructions I want to give it so that it can be a lot better about following that type of thing. And so now that I'm thinking about it out loud, this is kind of what I want to make sure it implements. So run deny list. So yeah, oh, it's going to, okay, yeah. It's basically just removing code and regenerating this. It's generate blob for upload URL. Okay. So now what's it going to do? Import use action. I don't know if it can do it though. We'll see. Generate use action. Yeah, it's going to find this type of thing. API blob generation. Okay, cool. So remove this. It created the blob.ts with the generate upload URL action. And then you're going to use action instead of fetch. And Convex actions can access it from the dashboard. That's good. So now on the client, I love this breakdown all the way. This is very, very helpful to me. So basically what it says is like the client is going to select the image, it calls this URL, it returns the blob, and then the upload file then does a put request and it calls schedule generation. Great. And then the image displays instantly from the blob URL. Oh, that's awesome. And then now the generate upload is going to access the token, call Vercel Blob API, generate a pre-signed URL, and then the generation mutation then creates a DB record with the blob URL and schedules it for generation and then returns immediately when it comes back. That way it'll just kind of present itself. That's great. So the token stays in Convex, never exposed to the client. One call replaces the API route, and then direct upload to Vercel CDN, and then there's no duplicate EMVR. Yes, I like this. Okay, cool. This is a really great plan. So I'm going to restart, make sure everything is cleared out for my logs. Command C, Command K. restart this. We are cooking, fam. It's an awesome session. Dang. Oh, we've had like 577 people on X. Yo, what's happening? 18 people on YouTube. What's happening? Yo, smash that Liz like. So, oh, Netherlands. Yeah. What do we have here on this fine Sunday night? Yes. Netherlands in the chat. Vibe code setup is cool. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm vibing right now. This is such a unergonomic vibe. Okay, so I should be good. I should be really good, actually. So let me refresh the page. Force refresh. And, okay. I think my bike credits, yeah, that's cool. Okay. So I can do this one with my friend. So now I should upload to Vercel, and it says it's not allowed because API error. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Use exa code MCP and use ref.tools to look up the implementation with details for convex. I'm seeing this error. Boop. Okay, so basically what I'm telling it now is just to use these two MCPs, which are really like token efficient, to kind of get the latest context for the code, because I feel like it's tried a little while and it's kind of been missing. And so I just want to make sure it's referencing the latest documentation and that we're doing the right things here. So because of the current chat history, should have an idea of how to do this stuff with our things here. And so now, yeah, I'm going to be really confident that this is going to pretty much nail it. So this feels like it's extra AGI stuff. Okay, so I still have, so for those who don't know, I have my iPad that's airplaying, and this is actually a preview of the screen of the live stream. So yeah, it's pretty cool that I get to see. So a lot of times this is kind of what I was using as my teleprompter, you know, like this is like my teleprompter, like back in the day, it would just kind of sit here and I could just see the screen of what's going on. Just makes it easy. But yeah, I think I could just kind of go there. Oh, okay, what's happening? So what is it doing here? So it's saying that npm, I use bun. Oh. Okay. So convert base64 for convex action. Oh, interesting. So generate blob URL, use action, and then, okay. We're going to do a put. So in the blob, we're going to do put, upload directly to blob from convex, server side upload. This is a simpler, more reliable than client uploads. Okay. Wait, what if the image is larger though? I think that's my problem. Okay. Client upload pattern, but server context, convex action doesn't work. Okay. So the from now, client converts the file to base64, call upload blob action with base64 data, use put to upload the data to Vercel blob, return the blob URL. Okay, that makes sense. So the problem is we're trying to use Vercel blob's client upload pattern, which requires handle upload in the Next.js API, but from convex action, it doesn't work. So server side upload pattern. Okay. This looks good. I use bun for the install and not npm. I noticed you used npm, so we may have to rerun a bun install just to make sure everything's installed properly. And then the last part of it is just to make sure here, I want to be sure that the images don't crash. Actually, I'm just going to test this out. I think I just want to make sure this is okay. Let's just upload something real quick. Theoretically, we should hit this. Yeah. What's the issue? Connection loss. Oh yeah, I have to reload the page. Yeah. Removed, bun install. Yeah. Okay. So now we should be good. Just restart the server. Let's see. Okay, we're here now. Cool. Okay, we have two issues. Blob, buffer not identified, and it's called by clients. Yeah. Yeah. This doesn't look to be like the right implementation. Can you help me debug? Let's see, this is called by the client. Yeah. Server error. Let's see what's going to come up with. I think the approach is not the right approach, right? Because it feels like we're going really outside of Convex's bounds. And then I'm kind of concerned that the image sizes might be too big as well. I don't think this is a proper use of it. I'm really curious. So I think we moved like too fast. And to be honest, this kind of started out as like a whole like unboxing scene, which is all this here. And then we turned into like, I still have code to ship with Droid. And then I kind of kicked that off. And then I've just been kind of glued to my screen. When I should just be taking a break right now and just chilling. So yeah, this is like my vibe code setup. I will have more once I kind of clean up this thing. And then I'll be able to show you more about like how this kind of thing works. But yeah, for the most part, this thing is a whole-on display. And so this will actually kind of get me going. And excited to get this configured and figured that out. And also excited to get this all shipped for me. So it'll be really interesting. So let's revert to using convex storage. Just handle the UX better. Keep the race condition fixes we made. Show proper loading skeletons. So yeah, let's go. Or if you really want Vercel Blob, proper cleanup client-side uploads, Next.js API routes, not through convex actions at all. So what do? Revert and stick to convex storage, better UX. Implement better blob storage client uploads. Okay, let's do option A. So we get it back to working again, to a good working state. Yeah, that way, like, we can, for me, I just kind of wanted to get it working. I feel like this app is not yet public, so this is still our V0 in essence. And while I do have the website up, it's actually pointing to my old repo, and this new repo is one that I'm actually updating and using right now. So once this is resolved, I'll basically point the URL to this new location, and then I'll also have production instances of Clerk for the authentication to log in. This is already a new database for Convex. And then this is going to have the polar links that are going to be with the production URLs. So I still need to kind of do that, and I'll probably do that live tomorrow. So if you want to tune in, definitely check that out. I'm currently in Hawaii, so it's almost 8 o'clock, and I need to get some dinner. And I just wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit of kind of what I'm doing here. Very casual stream. This is not my normal setup. As you can see, my normal setup is usually over here with the actual board and the microphone, and then we have like the camera over there, and you can see my terminal is going crazy right now. I gotta go fix that. And then this is like usually the vibes and stuff. So yeah, this is a little bit different type of setup. I'm testing out the wireless mics too. I want to do something where I'm literally like vibe coding with this, but like take it out to the streets. So this is kind of like an experimental setup too. And I'm really glad this is working. So you gotta love coding in 2025. Sitting on the couch, talking with your PC, basic instructions. I don't think you're right. Fix it in a different way. Literally, right? I mean, literally, I just want to do this where I'm just like, yo, yeah, okay, just cook. You know, I just push a button and just say, yo, do that. No, not that, but that. So, I mean, that's the vibe, right? Like, and then eventually just be in the ocean, just be like, ah, yeah, that one. Okay, no, that ain't it. No, it's too fun. Yeah, this is too fun. Yeah, this vibe code setup is so cool. I appreciate it, man. This is so wild. This is really fun. I can't stop. I'm a little addicted. So let's see what's going on here. Did we revert all of our changes? Let's see. I'm just curious. Yes, we're gonna revert everything back. Okay. Removed. Okay. So keep alive. I think it's just reverting everything back that we did for the storage stuff. Prefer the upload blob URL database over convex. Okay. Yeah, clean up convex storage. Delete. Okay. So what's it doing now? Okay, so it's just cleaning up all this like extra build stuff. Can't say store generated. So what's been happening along the way, I don't know if you realize, behind the scenes, it's been checking in all the changes. So at a different point in time, I can go back to wherever things were working and just snap right back to it. So if this doesn't work, I could just go use Git and snap right back to it, just a FYI. So I'm not really too concerned that, you know, if Droid does something funny, it's not really going to mess me up too much because I know it's going to basically work for me. So now what's it doing? There's probably more function errors, just double checking. Oh, it terminated. Let's see, pkill. Oh dang, it's already killing my other stuff. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, this is the older code, so it's still doing some cleanup for us to get back and working again. Yeah. So yeah, cool. Man, this has been a wild stream. I appreciate everyone who's been kind of stopping by and saying hello on the stream. And let's see. Yeah, big shout out to the folks over in Hawaii right now. Appreciate you. Big shouts to the folks in the Netherlands watching. Anyone who's currently asleep in New York or should be asleep. California folks, and you know, the whole gamut. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Chill out.